Did you know that having a great landing page image can significantly boost your conversion rates? Yeah, it can. However, here's the thing. Not all images are created equal, my friends, and some images can even do more harm than good. That's why in today's episode, we're going to dive deep into how to create killer landing page images, images that will grab your viewers' attention, images that will evoke emotions, and images that will ultimately boost your conversions. You ready to learn how? Stay tuned and find out now. What is up? What is up? What the heck is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another episode of Landing Page Image Learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman. I guess the question we want to ask today is, are you tired of those lackluster landing page images that just don't convert? Yeah, that's why in this episode, we're going to reveal the power of using the right images on your landing page. We're going to show you how to showcase your product, how to evoke those emotions that will make your visitors hang around and ultimately buy. Plus, I want to share a little surprise tip with you that you might just use to revolutionize your image strategy. So you don't want to settle for subpar conversions. So listen to this episode all the way through and start optimizing your landing page images for some maximum impact. Now, here's the thing. I think if you're still listening, you're probably struggling to come up with that great image for your landing page. Don't worry, my friends. I'm here to help you. And here's the other thing. There's a myriad of resources that are out there that can help you. Little old me, I'm not the go-to source for images. I mean, one great resource that's out there is Icons 8. You could go to Theme? They've got an image area as well. Or heck, with the advent of AI, which I've been toying a lot with, Midjourney. I've come up with some really cool images from Midjourney and been using them in social media. And of course, we'll be adding them to the podcast imagery as well. Like I said, there's a myriad of great tools that will help you design and craft and create that perfect, unique image for all of your marketing needs, not just your landing page. But what we're talking about today is a landing page. Now, I want you to remember that your landing page image is one of the most crucial elements on your page. Why? Well, it's because it's the first thing your visitors see. It grabs their attention and you want it to draw them in. So you got to pick that right image. So you're going to want to take the time to select a great image that does a few things. It showcases your product. It evokes some emotion. Whatever emotion you're trying to create, you're trying to evoke inside that buyer. That image should do that. And it should be unique and memorable, all while working in harmony with all the page copy and the call to action. And it fits in your overall color scheme. How many times have we seen that image? It's like, oh, that's a great image, but man, it doesn't go with everything else that's going on the page. It actually seems disjointed, right? You're like, oh, that doesn't quite work. So let's break these down one by one, right? Let's talk about showcasing your product. Look, showcasing your product is essential, and it should be the number one aim you have going on here. Think about a TV ad for, say, a hamburger. I love me a good hamburger. But let's think about a TV ad for a hamburger, for example. They always show a zoomed in, super close-up of a steaming hot burger, right? Yeah, this image is designed to make you salivate. I'm actually salivating right now and want that burger. I'm just thinking of some of the imagery I've seen. Sometimes they zoom in as they're flipping that burger over on the grill. Similarly, your landing page image should make your visitors want that product. Make them emotionally salivate for your product, okay? Now, let's talk about evoking that emotion. That image should evoke emotion. Whatever emotion you're trying to create as they're going through your landing page, you want that image to do that. Show your customers how your product or your service will make them feel once they have it. Ha! Yeah? Now, maybe you're saying, I want to focus in on their pain. Okay, that's fine too. Make that image evoke that emotion of that pain they're going through right now. I would evoke the emotion of what it is they're going to feel after they have it, because they're like, oh my God, this is what I got. Here's an example. You could show your customer hugging your product and grinning, or you could demonstrate how badly they feel now because of their big problem, the issue that you're going to solve, and then add a second image illustrating how they're going to feel after using your product. So you can now do them both. Maybe even put them, cantilevered next to each other. Oh, are you feeling depressed and stressed about all the issues with X, whatever X is? And that's right there. And then just below that, the image and the text switch sides. Well, here's how we can, solve that, and then show the other person just feeling all good about things. There you go. You can use both. But the key is you want them to evoke that emotion of how it's going to be after they utilize your product, your service. Now, let's talk about tip number 3 here. Let's not use those stale, old stock images. Look, I get it. It's tempting to find a stock image of a sexy woman looking all over the moon happy and adding that to your page and just checking the box. There, I got myself a good image. Look, in most cases, stock images, well, they look just like that. They look like stock images, and they don't really resonate with your visitors. And sometimes, well, many times, I see too many digital marketers reusing the same image over and over and over again. And think about being the person on the other side of the screen. Maybe you've experienced this, where you've seen that same image of that person going, yay, I'm a success. And you're like, good God, can you use a different image, please? Well, your customer could be feeling the exact same way. And thus, it doesn't resonate with your visitor. Instead, here's what you want to do, is you want to aim to use an image that is perfect as possible at grabbing the attention and making the conversion, right? Don't use every single stock image is out there. There's so many amazing images that are already out there. There's plenty to pick from. Don't use all the same stale ones. Number 4, let's consider the page copy and the call to action that you have going on, right? Your image needs to work in harmony, in synchronicity, in flow and ebb. And I know it sounds all woo-woo, but it's got to work together with everything else on your page, including the copy and the call to action. Otherwise, you'll be stumbling and bumbling inside their heads and they're just going, I'm out of here. They're going to click and they're going to go away. Consider how your image is being used. Is it being used as a background for the entire page? Is it the border of the page? Is it off to the left? Is it off to the right of the sign-up form? Location matters. If it's the background or the border, then it needs to support the copy without taking too much attention away from the copy. Does that make sense? Okay. But if it stands apart from the copy, it can be a bit more creative and more detailed and more attention-getting. We were talking about, hey, you're going to put that image of that sad person, that sad emotion, and then text next to it. Well, their eyes can gravitate straight to that image for a moment and then read the text. And then down below that would be the image of the happy person. And then they could, oh man, that's how I want to feel. And then their eyes can drift over, right? Because you're pulling them along with the images and the emotions you're trying to evoke when they're separate from that. But if they're part of the background, well, you don't want their eyes being pulled away from the copy into the background. You want to be less detailed at that point. Here's one I see. Consider using a cartoon. Yeah, that's tip number 5. Consider using a cartoon. People, for some reason, just can't help to pay attention to cartoons. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that they grew up with them as kids. I know I did. I'm a Saturday morning cartoon kid. I'm not sure if that's still around anymore, but I know Saturday mornings, you're sitting there, you grab your box of cereal and your bowl and you sat down in front of the TV and you poured cereal into the bowl of milk and you just sat there and you just ate until your belly was full, maybe even bulging a little bit. But for some reason, people can't help but pay attention to cartoons. So seriously consider using one on your landing page. If there's at least one cartoon person in your cartoon, it really seems to pull attention even better. The key is to keep the cartoon simple and easy to understand. right? Don't make it overall complex. You're not building a graphic novel here. You're just trying to build something simple that draws their eye in, where their brain goes, I get it. I know what they're trying to tell me here. And it marries up with the copy and everything that's going on. Tip number 6, think twice before you get too damn fancy. I don't know any other way to say it. Things like carousels and autoplay videos and animations and blah, 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 blah really can be extremely off-putting if the viewer isn't ready for them. I see so many landing pages where they want to do everything. I'm going to put this VSL, I'm going to put another animation, then I'm going to, just everything's going on at once, and you're like, right? You're almost ready to pull your hair out. If you do include elements like these, give the prospect a super easy to find pause button. Now, here's one that I personally like a lot, and I've seen it, where the video that's there, when you open up the page, it doesn't start, but it has kind of a GIF thing going on. The thumbnail for the video is a GIF. So it almost looks like the video has started, and it's got a few interesting captions going on there that kind of draw them in. Oh, so it's almost like an animation, right? In the meantime, it has the little play symbol right there in the center of things, so that you realize, oh, if I want to see this, I need to push play. But the GIF is almost pulling them in, right? The images, pulling them in. Oh, I really got to check this out. And quite often for me, it's the captions that are matching what was being said. Oh, you're like, oh, if you want to solve this problem, and this is the problem I landed on the page for, then you want to... Right, and that kind of leaves them hanging, and they're like, "Oh, I got to find out what that is," and they click the start button to watch the video. So think about that. Don't overpopulate with all these videos and animations and all carousels and all that noise. Keep it simple, stupid. Right? That's the KISS method. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And tip number 7, as I mentioned earlier, consider what's going on with your color scheme. Now, I suck at this. I'm red-green colorblind, and sometimes something looks great to me, and other people are going, Tracy, what in the hell are you trying to do here? You're scaring me, right? So I have to get help with this one. But your image really needs to seamlessly blend with your overall color scheme instead of clashing with it. Because someone could be cruising along, man, and they're resonating with you. It's just like, oh, man, this is perfect. Then they see this image. It's like, what's going on here? If you have a particular style associated with your brand, such as colors and fonts, then make sure your image blends easily with that scheme. And if it doesn't, find another image, okay? So let's wrap this up. If you want to boost your landing page conversions, it is going to be essential for you to pay attention to your landing page images. Your images, again, let's go over this really quick, should showcase your product. They should evoke an emotion, maybe a couple of emotions as you're taking them through the copy. Let's not make them the standard overused stock images. They need to work in harmony with the page copy of where they are at in that page copy and that final call to action. Every once in a while, consider using a cartoon, and then think twice before you get too damn fancy, while you're always taking into consideration the color scheme that you're using in the overall landing pages. If you follow all these tips I just dropped right here, you can make sure that your landing pages don't stink, and you'll be working hard to help convert more visitors into customers. Now, here's the thing. Don't take my word for it. Go ahead and test out 1, 2, 3. Heck, test out all of these tips I just dropped here and see which one or ones work best for your landing page. And here's another thing. If you want to learn even more about how to improve your landing page conversions, I would urge you to go check out episode 415. It's the episode titled 10 Proven Page Tweaks to Massively Increase Your Website's Conversions. There you're going to discover even more actionable tips and steps to boost your landing page conversions and grow your business. Here, I'm just talking about images. Over there, we talk about a whole host of other things. And with that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action. Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.